Heard he had a big amateur background. Comes in here as an undefeated fighter, coming overseas, fighting Wanzell Ellison, who's also undefeated. You know, not to say we don't see undefeated fighters facing each other at this stage, but the fact that Weaver came over from the UK, you know, his team's obviously confident he can come here and win. It's going to be a pro-Ellison crowd. Ellison hails from Newark, not too far here from Parsippany. So you know what, we're definitely going to have an interesting bout here, and even Ellison said he's expecting a tough fight.
You know, like you said, Matt, you don't see many kids coming in with undefeated records, especially 10-0, 5-0. So this should be an interesting fight. We look forward to it. We're waiting for the introductions and the entrance of Wanzell Ellison.
Let's go! Come on, man. 1,040. From who? Yeah, but
Iain Weaver out of Ireland. You know what? Interesting piece about Weaver, just so you kind of know maybe where this guy's at. He's managed by Gary Hyde. Gary Hyde manages Guillermo Rigondeaux, one of the top fighters in the world. Hyde manages or managed Mike Perez, the unbeaten heavyweight who we've seen on HBO. Also has Hassan Ndam, whose only loss is in a world title fight when he dropped his title to Peter Quillen. So if that tells you anything, he's facing a serious opponent. And you know what? We'll see what Weaver has. I haven't seen any tape on him. I've seen Ellison before. You know, a guy who's been built up, fought the right way. And you know what? Ellison has traveled a little bit. You know, we talk about guys like Farrell, who fights a lot local, and you know the Bobby Moonies who really come here in front of a crowd. There was a time before signing with GH3 Promotions, Wanzell Ellison did not have a promoter. He fought wherever he could. I'll get into more of that in a minute after we get to Mike Ellison.
Six rounds of super featherweight boxing with referee Randy Newman fighting out of the blue corner. With a record of 5-0 with 3 knockouts at 129 pounds, all the way from Ireland, Iain Weaver. And his opponent is in the red corner with a record of 10-0-1 with 5 knockouts at 127 pounds. From Newark, New Jersey, Wanzell Venom Ellison.
You know, I'm really looking forward to this one. I mean, you know, a couple fights ago, we saw a surprise. You know, again, Flores, you know, was coming in as the underdog, came in and clearly beat Farragon, the house fighter. And you know what? You know, maybe we could see the same here. Again, I've seen Ellison before. He's a good fighter. He's, as I said before, he's traveled a lot. You know, even though he's young, Ellison has been pro for a while, and he's already fought in a number of different states. And he also had a fight in Trinidad. And to talk about experience, you know, Ellison's record, it's the way it's supposed to be for a guy at this stage. But one thing that's interesting, in his 5th pro fight, he battled to a draw with Carlos Vignan, a tough Ecuadorian fighter out of Newark. 2 fights before facing Ellison, Vignan knocked out Anthony Mazzacci, who was number 2 or number 3 in the world. So we'll see what happens here. And Ellison said to me right before the fight, quote, you know, he knows the kid was a good amateur. He's got a lot of experience from what he heard, and he expects to step up because he knows this kid didn't travel all the way over here just to lay down.
No, and you know, his cornermen have an incredible resume. So this kid is prepared regardless of what happens here. And you know what? They're already coming out throwing their hands. You got to appreciate this.
Absolutely. You got to give props to both guys for taking this fight. You know, again, they're both prospects. They're both unbeaten. They could have waited till maybe there was, you know, a big stage for this. But, you know, the fact they're here, they're taking this tough fight, and everyone gets to see it on Go Fight Live is great, too. So props to both fighters for taking it, and, you know, hope everyone enjoys it.
No, this should be a good one. And, you know, you can just see the skill, the hand speed of both fighters here.
Ellison, nicknamed Venom. I remember in one of his early fights, he wore this lime green type trunks to the ring, with a lizard type design. It was one of the coolest looking things, and you know, it just made me think of a lizard, you know, a snake or something, and the Venom.
So okay, so he changed his name from the lizard to the Venom.
No, he was always Venom. But no, you know, now he's got the red, and he's you know, match complete. Oh, good punch there from Weaver. But Ellison, as we can see, are very fast hands. You know.
Oh, very fast hands, very skilled, incredible shape. I mean, incredible shape. You know, and what we've seen tonight, that, you know, most of these fighters, they're under control. Weaver looks like he's got a cut above his right eye already. Unless, you know, just the white skin, you know, they mark easy.
You know, lighter skin fighters do sometimes mark easier. You know, or he does have a little cut. He's from Ireland. We talked about Irish fighters. Good right hand, and Weaver comes right back.
Upstairs, downstairs. Ellison upstairs, downstairs. Weaver, you know, control. This is, I'll tell you that, this is going to be a good fight.
And Weaver is a guy with some confidence. He scored first-round knockouts in his last 2 fights. He fought in Spain. He has a win over an undefeated fighter in England last October. And again, you know, this clearly Ellison was aware that it was a tough fight. You know, we didn't just say this guy's 5-0 and that's it. He was expecting a tough fight, and you know, he's coming to fight.
No, and you know what? You were right. Kudos to everybody, the promoters, the management for each of these fighters. You know, when your guy is 5-0, 10-0. And you mark him up or match him up against another undefeated fighter, you got to appreciate that.
Absolutely. And you know what? Weaver's landing some good shots here. I think we can see already, you know, the key for Ellison is going to have to be that speed. He's got very, very fast hands, but he's got to be first with it because, you know, Weaver is not going to wait to go over. Weaver's going to take that first step. So I think Ellison needs to beat him and time him and lead first with that jab.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Ellison's speed against Weaver's aggressiveness and fast hands.
Who do you give that first round to? It was very, very close.
That was a great first round. That was a tough first round to score.
Might have been the best round of the night. You know, if I had to make a decision and I was a judge, which, you know, again, as much as we criticize our judges because they have done a bad job, rounds like that are not easy to score. I might slightly have to lean towards Ellison, but again, it was a very, very close round, and both men did a little bit of work.
That was a tough round to score. I'm gonna take the easy way out and say it was a draw. But those are tough rounds to score, and I'll tell you, we've been right on the money tonight with all the decisions. So, in our eyes, the judges have been right on the money and done a great job tonight.
Absolutely. You know, we do have to appreciate something like that. We talked about the last bout, you know, where Flores came in from out of town, and the judges got it right. You know, you respect him for that, and he clearly won the fight, and he got the decision fair and square. So, you know, again, a fight like this, even if the hometown guy gets it, if it continues this pace, a hometown fighter, and people never want to talk about this, a hometown fighter could win a close decision without it being a robbery. Unfortunately, a lot of fighters from out of town who lose fights like that refuse to say, I lost a close competitive decision versus I was robbed in his hometown.
Yeah, that's so true.
One thing, thankfully, we haven't seen yet that could be a potential issue. You have the southpaw Weaver against the right-hand fighter Ellison. If both guys come forward, if they step the wrong way, we could see a clash of heads. Very common when you have a southpaw against an orthodox traditional fighter. A lot of head clashes right here.
That is true. We haven't seen that all night.
Ellison here trying to use maybe a little bit of a Mayweather shell type defense. You know, again, a lot of fighters try to do it, and no discredit to Ellison, who's a good young prospect. There's a reason that only Floyd Mayweather is able to perfect it. You know, we even saw HBO, Showtime level fighters in like Adrian Broner who could not perfect it. Again, it's a very hard thing to do, as easy as it may look. So.
No, but you're right. He actually tucks that chin in on his shoulder, and you know, so he's protected that left side of his face and body.
Absolutely. He tries to fire over those right hands, which is something Mayweather's great at. You know, is slipping away, rolling out, and booming, countering with that straight right hand. It's money, and you know, ooh, good hook right there.
The hand speed by Ellison is fantastic, and you're right, Matt. He's got to use that hand speed because Weaver's going to try to walk him down.
And like I said, you know, Weaver's no slowpoke. You know, he's not as fast as Ellison, but he's not a slow fighter. You know, you look at sometimes, okay, this guy's fast, this guy's a plotter. No, Weaver's got decent hand speed, and you know what? So far, he's done a good job of pushing the pace. You know, maybe making Ellison a little uncomfortable, landed a few good shots as he looks to counter. I think Weaver's done an okay job this round. You know, Ellison is definitely in a fight, and I think he already knows that.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt. You're right. Weaver is not slow in hands. He does have hand speed.
Ooh, good body shot there from Weaver.
Yeah, good body shot. Turn him around, full underneath, very nice.
And you know, when you have guys who have that Philly, you know, that high Mayweather shell type defense, you look at where their arms are. A lot of times there's a little, you know, a little slipping point, especially when they roll away. That body's right there. So we'll see, and a good body shot right there. We'll see how much body work Weaver does if Ellison continues to use that shell style as he fights back.
It's a nice flurry there by Ellison. Nice combination by Weaver.
Come to an end of the round. You know,
Very
very
good.
good punch. I think that it was a close round again. I think Weaver, I like Weaver's work a little bit better. Again, it could be 1-1 or 2-0 either way. It is a very close fight. And these, again, regardless of whose hometown you're in, these are not easy rounds to score.
No, these are not easy rounds to score. This is the night I don't want to be a judge. I'm glad where I am right now.
Well, you know, again, it's also easy to judge from your couch or from ringside when you have a headset on versus actually being an official judge. So, again, very close fight. You know, it depends. What do the judges like? Do they like Ellison's quick hands, pop, pop, pop shots? Do they like Weaver's, you know, aggressive power? You know, if you're in Weaver's corner, I guess, what are you saying to him right now, knowing that you're in Ellison's hometown and it's definitely a close fight?
Well, you can actually see that his fight is to come forward, throw his hands. Exactly what he's doing.
And I guess Ellison, on the other hand, you know, you want to, at least if I'm his corner over there, I'm Charlie Dewdrop, getting a lot of work tonight, saying to him, hey, you know, you gotta keep the distance, you gotta move. You don't want to stand and slug with this guy, because Weaver's doing his work in close quarters. Ellison wants to use that jab, and he's also the longer fighter. He has to use that length. Every time he leans in like he just did a second ago, or comes too far forward, he falls right into Weaver's trap.
There you go with Ellison's speed.
Ooh, good body shot there.
Yeah,
nice little inside body shot there from Ellison, coming through with a straight. You know, Weaver just does not stop coming.
No, he doesn't.
You know,
he's got good head movement too.
He does, you know what, and the thing is, like I said, you know, sometimes when you face a guy like this who wants to be slick, you know, especially against the king of that style, Mayweather, you get fooled by that jab, you get discouraged. But you know what, even when he's getting hit, Weaver's continuing to come, and you know what, Ellison might not necessarily didn't expect it, maybe he just hasn't seen it before in his career, since this is definitely a step up, as he admits, and, you know, definitely a step up for Weaver as well.
Yeah, well, they're both fighting well. You know, it's a step up probably for both fighters. Great body punch, but look at Ellison. I mean, he didn't seem fazed by that.
Weaver did a good job moving there. You know, Ellison did partially cover that. You know, but Weaver, what he did is, I like how he slipped through the shot, got out of there, and came back on the other side. You know, a lot of guys want to sit and admire their work. You know, Weaver is well schooled. Again, you know, this isn't a guy that they plucked out of nowhere with a nice record for the crowd and the program for Ellison to drop in 30 seconds, because that's not happening tonight.
No, not at all. These guys, this is a very nicely matched fight right here.
And you know, we've been talking a lot about Ellison's jab. When Weaver times that jab, he's got a good little sneaky up jab when he's able to land. If you watch right there, boom.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, it's not blazing fast. It doesn't have a ton of power, but it's a scoring blow, and when he throws it, he's able to land it. A little body shot on the inside there from Ellison.
Yeah, and you know what? Weaver is tough to hit. You know, nice left hook there, as I say that.
And you know what? Weaver's fighting well off the ropes. I mean, a lot of times you hear trainers, get off the ropes, get off the ropes. When Weaver was on the ropes, he was moving his body in a position that he was able to, you know, roll and land a shot out of there, which especially, like I said, as a young fighter, that's one of the last places you want a guy. But that was pretty impressive. Nice left hook. Good inside body shot there from Ellison. You know, a lot of his shots are getting deflected. You know, whether it's just the fact that maybe Weaver's a little bit more of a puncher, I feel his shots are at least making more of a thud, even if he doesn't land it.
Yeah, they are. And you know what? Like, you know, they're both great defensive fighters who are both throwing their hands.
And you know what? Again, we have another close round.